There are some things we do which on the face of it could seem so innocent, but if caught, you could go to jail for several years because of that little innocent action, victimless action. Several years ago, someone told me about how they forge identification cards, ID cards of Delhi University so that they can enter the DU festival. And I had to explain to that person that the very innocent act of forging a DU pass so that you can get entry into a college fest seems very, very innocuous, something very, very harmless. But just in case the officials who are doing the checking over there are suspicious and they turn you in, you could go to jail for several years, because what you did there, right there, is an offense of forgery. Several years ago as well, a friend of mine came up to me and told me that his father, back in his small hometown, used to, among other things, make driving licenses for people who would come to his photography shop. And he asked me whether the fact that his father is under arrest and in jail could be something serious. And I had to explain to him again the offense of forgery. Extremely, extremely difficult to deal with. Several years of jail you can go to. Other examples that come to my mind, a client of mine told me that he forged an experience certificate of a very well-known company to get a job somewhere else. Again, seems kinda innocent, kinda on the boundary. There are several such cases where forgery of the smallest, most innocent types will land you in jail for several years. In fact, I remember there was this one particular case where a parent signed and forged, technically forged, because they signed the signatures of their children for a particular thing, and they went to jail for that. And there are so many other examples, but in this particular video, I just wanted to cover this one small, very innocent thing that a lot of us people do. Receiving a document on someone else's behalf, you receive it on my behalf and you sign it as amish.aggarwala. Again, that's forgery. Instead, write your own signature and maybe write besides it for amish.aggarwala. That should keep you safe. Even when it comes to legal practitioners, so many times I see lawyers forge their client's signature and they assume that because the client has hired them, they can do so. Their clerks are much more guilty because they do it much more often. But the fact of the matter is that at any point of time, if the client actually goes and complains about it, FSL, that is Forensic Science Laboratory, will come back with a conclusion very, very quickly. The signatures are not the person who they have been pointed to as the signatory. Then the doubt comes on the person on whom the blame is being given by the person. And that will be his lawyer or his clerk. When that inconvenient day arises, when the litigant faces some problem. And that is why, again, smallest of actions like these could blow up into huge problems for you in the future.